Hmm? All right. All right. We are here. Welcome, everybody. Back again. Amazing. This is the first time we've been this consistent. 2 videos in a week. Anyways, back again. We're going to get painting today. Thank you guys for joining me now. See, people are in there. So we're excited to get going again. So today we're going to work on this little Gravedigger piece. Again, this small will be part of my little Valentine's Day release. So we're going to be painting today. At this point, last time I had did the gouache and kind of did all the coloring and sections. But this time we're just going to do enamel line work. Just kind of, just you can see it all lay in, all the details and stuff. So any questions you have, feel free to ask away. We're going to be working here probably, 45 minutes to an hour. So feel free to any questions you see along the way. Again, thanks for joining me. Appreciate it. And again, we're trying to do more of these as we go. But let's get rolling. So I'm going to start doing the line work now. Got my paint pre-mixed here, my enamel. Enamel is basically kind of like pinstripe paint for like cars. It's completely opaque, it stinks, it smells bad, but it's just amazing for what my brain sees. It's exact paint that I should be using. For me, I can get, completely opaque lines. It's kind of like, painting with ink almost, where it's just completely opaque and I can carve out detail, and it's really my paint of choice. It's kind of what defines my style, so.
Ben is in the house.
Welcome back, Ben. Thanks for joining me. See, I told you it wasn't going to be long. We do another one. We're going to get better at this and better at this. I'm hoping as we get better at this that it won't be a 3-alarm fire each time before we go live. We'll have it all figured out. And this fun little Gravedigger piece, I've done some sketches in the past, and actually did a small piece of him, and I just really was excited to bring him back. It just seemed like the perfect live stream subject for today. So again, throughout the feed, any questions, any comments, anything, feel free to fire it over. We're gonna I'll be here painting. Again, this is kind of this live streams are fun because they kind of replace doing live demos. That's how I basically cut my teeth. I've always painted in front of crowds, answer questions, be able to talk to people, and I really enjoyed that and missed that. So this live streaming is kind of giving me a chance to kind of capture some of that's missing now that we're off the road. So.
When was the last stream? I don't remember things. A mere 2 days ago.
I think our last stream was a mere 2 days ago.
Graham Smith.
Hey, Graham's in that. See, that's why we try to do some early so that our across the ponders can check it out too. So thank you, Graham, for hanging out. Yeah, as we kind of navigate this live streaming thing, we're gonna try and try different times. I don't have a set schedule really. I don't hold myself to a set painting schedule, so we're just trying to try some different times and see what people like and when they can see the stream and they're not doing their work they're supposed to be doing. So we'll continue to kind of move it around and try different times.
Yeah, he said it's a good time to live stream in the UK.
There you go.
That's the truth.
And that's our goal. Again, try and as many people can see it. It works for everybody. I know sometimes our late at night is not necessarily the best, for East Coasters even. Never mind across the pond. So we're gonna get something for everybody. I'm just gonna stay up painting 24 hours a day so that everybody gets a chance.
Ben's schooling. He should be schooling then.
You should be schooling Ben.
Late school.
I would not school at all if I had the ability to do that, to watch anything else, to be honest. I do not think I'd be a good remote learner. I was barely a good in-person learner.
Can you pull it piece down a little bit?
Yeah. I twist it a little bit too, just to get a little hit it. Is that better?
Yep.
All right. I want these ravens to be kind of shaggy. Because I feel like cemetery ravens would be shaggy. No good. So there will not be any prints of this guy. He's just a one-off. A lot of these, because of the odd shapes, you couldn't make a paper print or really anything out of it anyways. But it's that strange shape is what I love. I'm always really inspired by painting on these kind of, non-traditional layouts. It just lets you just really experiment and just kind of do things you can't do in the normal, 8.5 by 11 portrait format.
Can you hear all the birds?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear the birds in the microphone, but we have feeders right outside of my studio, which is usually how birds end up in my paintings, just from hounding me so much that they just force their way into paintings. But there's probably at least 30 or 40 birds at the feeders right now, just going bananas. And I have ravens in the trees behind. Last night was a full murder of them. We got doves, we got goldfinches, lesser golds, house finches, hummingbirds on the hummingbird feeder. We have orioles occasionally. So if it sounds like when I get off this live stream, I'm going to go slap on my waders and grab my binoculars and go hide in the bushes and watch birds, it is kind of like that sometimes. But the fact that right outside my window makes the bird watching easier.
Here comes the dog.
And here comes, at some point the shipping department is going to bust into this live stream. There's no way they're not going to come in. You hear them barking already. And our dog babysitting services, she's just terrible. So they'll definitely be breaking away from her. But if you're popping onto the stream, just let me know where you saw the art. How'd you find us? I'm always curious that, now that we're here off the road, just, always interested in people where the work first came to them, where they saw it. Was it online? Was it a show? And I hear the pitter patter of paws. Boxer's the first one to come smash the feed. Here's the puppy. Everybody has some drinking going on now. Yeah, everybody's apparently really thirsty. Really thirsty. Yep. Hello. Beans, come here. This is the beanies. This is the newest addition to the. I don't know if you can see him in there. I see him. There he is. There he is. So this is the newest addition to the craziness. So, while his name legal name is Quint McCracken, Quint McCready, for the Jaws and Thing reference. He's just called Bunny. That's all we call him. He just runs around like a bunny. So those are the biggest enemies of work getting done.
I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Air-B jerk.
Air-B jerk.
This is how you do it.
Welcome to the stream, Air-B jerk. Are you like an Airbnb jerk?
A-R-B jerk.
ARB jerk? Oh, the dogs are sitting next to me just licking their bums. It's not that kind of stream, man.
It could be that.
If that's people want to see, just let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe for more dog bums. I don't know, that's what it gets likes and subscribed on YouTube. Again, it's fun to actually paint. It's almost consecutive days because I did some painting last night too. So it's just it shows. I usually paint for, the entire weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I paint, from 10 a.m. to maybe 3 or 4 in the afternoon straight. Break for lunch, but that's pretty much what we do the whole time. And it's fun to get back into that painting a lot when I'm off the road. There's all the emails and the business of art that has to be done. So it's fun to kind of just smash out paintings. This is what I love to do, and to be able to just get a lot at one time, I miss that. So it's kind of fun to be able to do this. And I think this live stream is kind of helping me capture that again, really filling the live painting void. So I'm excited to continue to do this. And I think what we'll try and do besides just enamel, I'll do some, maybe some watercolor. I'll do some ink and watercolor, do some sketching, just live on the fly sketching, just kind of show the entire art process and all the things that I do.
Well, we brutalized that name. Björk is his last name because he's from Norway.
Oh my gosh.
And Air is from Air Jordan.
Okay. Wow. I apologize to.
It's an international incident.
International incident. Interpol's gonna be involved. We destroyed his name.
Oh no. You guys don't know on YouTube.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. So how is it official pronounced? I don't do it wrong again.
I assume it's Björk.
Björk. I apologize, Björk. I just destroyed your name. We mocked it. Yeah. If you left the stream, I would not be upset. I understand. I've committed international incident. This is why I'm not allowed out. Man. So I apologize for all of that.
Should I have a screen I pop up that has constant apology?
Yes. A pop-in apology. To those watching, sorry again. And a big sad sound, like a... Upsetting international watchers. Man.
We knew you would.
Yep. So I'm laying in his little Oliver Twist gloves, which I just feel like Gravediggers would have on. I don't know why. Just feels like the little finger hole gloves, like classic criminals. See, live stream, I can't even clean my thoughts up. You guys just get the raw dumbness, so I apologize for that too. Yeah, you see the dog's being scolded. You know, we can have fancy graphics and good sound and good camera, but you can't dress us up.
He said it's no problem. It's not a common last name. I said, yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah.
Lozeau.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Roy. I appreciate the forgiving my international faux pas. Having a name like Lozeau, yeah, it's never been pronounced right either, so I completely can relate to your understanding, and thank you. I have not been to Norway. I've been to Finland. And we've been... That's probably the coldest we've gone. There's always certain parts of a painting that make me happy just because, you know, I don't get to paint them much. They're just weird things. You know, painting a dog poo pickup bag and a little devil piece I did where the devil was walking his dog and I painted a little blue, you know, little devil carrying the dog's poo in a little bag. Weird things like that you never thought in your world that you would paint. Little worms also might fall into that. Like these little guys here in the hat and stuff. There's some more down at the bottom. Like I think that's just one of those things. What'd you do today? I painted little worms. But it's things like that, in all seriousness, that, you know, it makes it fun to paint. I've done probably, geez, I think 400, 500 paintings. Some scary amount. You know, and to find new things and to, you know, keep that joy, it's really important to me to have that. I mean, it's my job, but I want it to be, you know, always be fun and satisfying. The dog just coming to drink there. Just, you know, it's not me. I wonder if streaming at this time is I'm just killing people's schooling. Or is it easier for people to watch because they can do it while they're not working or supposed to be working? Let me know if you're watching the stream and supposed to be working. You'll see me bounce around sometimes, you know, throughout the painting. And while when the enamel is done in a certain section and I slide down, that usually means that section is finished. You'll find me go back if I want to push. It needs more weight, you know, or it needs more color, or, you know, needs more texture. You know, I will bounce around to some spots that just kind of hit me as, oh, I don't like that. Let me go fix that. So there is a logical direction I kind of work, which is usually, you know, right to left because of my being left-handed, and I want to run my hand through my paint. But other than that, you know, I just kind of see stuff, which I go back and fix as I go. I don't want to have to, when I'm done, I want to be done. So I kind of just move through the painting. When I see something, I go back and fix it. Like I just, you know, the shovel need a little more weight to it. These kind of characters always remind me of this the traditional English style, you know, from the characters. You know, it is kind of that Oliver Twist, you know, creepy haunted mansion-y kind of, it's just that weird classic elemental monster feel, the Frankensteins, the Wolfmans, all that kind of stuff. I which we all watched in black and white as a kid. It's just fun to see those kind of pieces. Always reminds me of those. Good day, sir. So you just see me kind of moving here to adding textures, breaking up shapes, kind of defining. There isn't a super strong light source in this piece. This is kind of at night, so we just kind of went with a general. With these cuter pieces too, I don't necessarily do super hard, moody light sources. You want it to be bright and colorful and kind of capture the personality of the pieces.
Björk says you should come by Norway to get inspiration for some mythology. Some of their mythology.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Bjork's suggesting checking out the Norway for some of the mythology and completely. And I've wanted to dive into that subject for a while, and I definitely will in the future. I haven't tackled any of that stuff. I did a Viking piece, which is like the closest to that type of stuff, and I love that stuff. So yeah, that's definitely on the list. Some cool mythology stuff. Once we kind of get settled into our live stream and all the work and everything else, we'll kind of be able to explore some of those other options, some new pieces. I love to live stream, a big piece. So in the future, we'll definitely do that. Something you can kind of see epically get laid in. Some of those pieces upwards of 60, 70 hours. So it'll be fun to kind of share that with you. Some of those pieces, the process, the laying out, the whole stuff. So. And that's why I do love to mix it up too. Some cute ones, then I want to do some big serious ones. I have a couple big serious commissions on my table too that will be fun to paint, so maybe I'll be able to share some of that stuff with you. But again, if you guys have any questions, for sure, fire them out. That's what I'm here for. I can basically paint and talk at the same time. Again, because I did live demos my whole career, basically. It's kind of how we started. Talking and painting is not an issue.
Push the piece up about an inch.
I'm going to slide this up a little bit, make sure we're still in frame here. How's that? Too much.
There we go.
All right.
Oh, Ben is left-handed. Unfortunate.
Ben is left-handed. See, all the good ones.
Life of discrimination.
It is really discrimination. The whole world is stacked against us. I can't read a coffee cup and get the cool jokes everybody gets. Scissors don't work right. The list really goes on and on. I've overcome so much. Those righties think they know our struggle. And the funny thing about this little guy is that as I paint him, I love his little character, his little clothes and stuff. And I have a couple other ideas. The travels, the unearthly travels of the Gravedigger. The Gravedigger finds romance. All kinds of ideas. So we'll see. Maybe he is finding romance in this picture too. Who knows? Maybe he came along and these ravens were already stealing the money from this grave, and he's trying to stop them. I don't think the ravens brought the booze, though, so... that might be the... I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's painting, man. I'm more scared that I don't hear the dogs.
Two are sitting at the window watching birds,
All right.
and the other's living.
All right. Awesome. The dogs are watching the birds. Another all-day morning occurrence, so that's great.
Do you think you could take a picture of this? If I give you my pen?
Mm-hmm.
Eric asks if you've tried Posca pens or markers, and then what's your take on it?
Great question. So let me get a picture of the, show you what the dogs are doing. So you can see that. Oh. I thought you meant the dogs. Hold on a second there. Boom. So the question was, Posca pens. And yes, I actually have a lot of experience with them. It's the paint pen I use to sign all my paper and canvas works when people want things signed and personalized. So I, in a utilitarian way, use them in that. But I've used them I've done years ago. Did skateboards with them. You know, they're the best paint pen out there for sure. I've used the Molotov. It's a German pen. I forget that pen. I've used Pentel's versions, and I just think that the Posca is definitely the best of the paint pens out there. I got a full selection here, and I at my shows I would do custom pops and give them away, and that's always what I paint them with too. And I like it a lot. It goes on nice. You know, you gotta prime them like anything else, but they go on well, and they're fun to use. And really, you can just they have brush tips now and fine tips, so I like them a lot. They're just one of those things that's really utilitarian. You can just kind of go after anything. When I travel, sometimes I always bring that with me in case someone wants me to whip up something. We've done drawn on cafe walls and stuff as a request. So it's one of those fun tools that kind of go on anything. Bike helmets, skate decks. They're just really a fun spot. Require very little priming or prep the surface at all. Again, could come in a billion colors, a billion tip sizes. So yes, big fan. I think my only complaint would be if you take them on a plane or big temperature changes. Never take the pen and immediately go to the surface you're going to paint. Have a scrap piece of paper or cardboard, and always just do your first line there, because with temperature changes they can just explode and shoot like a spoon-sized puddle of paint onto your surface. You gotta always be ready for that kind of thing. But besides that, short answer, love. Big fan. They're fun to use. And they make sense, I guess is another way to put it too. Like if you don't paint, but you drew as a kid or any kind of drawing, like they're very logical. They layer, you can blend. So I know a couple artists that's all they use. There's a surf artist, a local surf artist, and that's all he uses is his Posca pens. He does demos with them and everything. He loves it. Make sure I'm not blocking out my hand a little bit. Let's move this a little bit so you can see a little better. That big stupid hand out of the way. So basically the process here, I'm just going through and carving out the shapes. I kind of, get my shape first. There's a bolt here. It's really just kind of building up. Do the hard shapes, define the hand. Its relationship to where it comes into this handle. And then I'll kind of add some shadows and build up the volume of, carving them out. It's really, again, like I said, it's a multi... The first pass is just kind of more like the outline. And the second pass is more of the detail. And the third pass is kind of like the tiny details, the little, nooks and crannies, you call them. The dots, the lines, the little dash marks. That kind of stuff.
I'm sorry, were those markers what you used to sign your
Yes.
prints to?
Yes.
How long have you had that desk?
Oh boy. You know what? And to be honest, this mat is only 3 months old on top of the desk. I replace them often. They're just, I paint everything. The backgrounds are all painted. Everything's done on this. I'm messy. So the desk itself is probably 11 years old. Man, I know we brought it here already. No, I think it's even more than that.
You made it here.
I made it here. Okay, I made it here. So yes, about 11 years old, but the top, believe it or not, is only 3 months. What you're seeing in the frame is only 3 months old.
There's a lot of paint on it.
There's a lot of paint. Well, and I'll use a heat gun sometimes with my paint, and then it warps, and that's usually what happens to the mat. I don't replace it, but then it gets warped from a heat gun because I don't even bother to take it off. They're here to do it. So, and when a mat gets ruined here, it goes to. If you look at my frame, you can see me. There's another desk over here, kind of a waiting station, and that's where the mat moves, and then after that, it goes to the trash. So. But I think having a space to work, though, is one of the key things for me. Something I could leave my stuff set up. I know it's difficult. I've lived in apartments, I've lived in tiny houses. It's difficult to have a space you can leave set up like that. But definitely, it's one of those things where if you can save yourself the time of having to go get all your supplies out, that's one of the, for me, a huge motivation killer for me was, I gotta get all my stuff out to paint. That's a lot of work. So that's one of the advice I would give is, having a set space where you can kind of, even if it's just a small little closet, just something that's yours, you can leave your stuff set up and just jump in and out of it is a huge benefit to your art.
Yeah, he's saying he wishes he has an office.
It's not an excuse not to, though. Not to do any work, but it does make things easier. Geez, I don't think I had an office till I was 30 old.
Yeah, even if it's just a little corner desk.
Yeah, even just a little corner desk, even in your room, just a spot that you can have. It's basically, ideally, it's a spot that's only for art. If possible. I know you have, with desks and everything else, you may not have the room for, but that's like the first step is you don't need an office, but if you can have a little set corner that is just for doing art, so when you sit there, it's art time, that's the first step. I'm spoiled to have an office myself, but that's like the first baby no, I think the word right. First iteration is just that. Incarnation was what I'm trying to say too. Carnation, whatever. Words. I'm a drawer, not a worder. I need a bleep button just for dumbness.
You're searching that right now.
This stream has been brought offline by stupidity. Who lets this guy talk? So you just hopped on. Again, this is this little small original. The background is acrylic. So basically I do layers of acrylic, kind of working from lightest to darkest. And then I basically do my gouache on top of that. Now, if you go check my live stream from 2 days ago, you can actually see the entire gouache process also. But I kind of layer in all the gouache, all the highlights and color, and then the final stage is what I'm doing right now, which is the enamel. And that's where all the detail gets carved out. And think of enamel as like, ink. There's no fixing it. Once it's down, it's down. So make the exact lines you want. She's a fickle beast. And so this little small guy will be part of my my October 1st release that we're doing. So on my site on October 1st at 6 p.m. we'll be releasing this guy along with 4 small originals that will have prints. And then I think there's probably 2 or 3 originals that will not have prints. They're just one-off originals. So all that stuff will be available there. And this really is my favorite part of the entire process. I just like carving out these little niches and this little weirdness and defining these objects.
Dan Martin, let's have the live painting back.
Hey, Dan Martin in the house. Hey, thanks for coming by, Dan. Yes, live painting's back. This is going to be your substitute since you can't see me in Tempe. This way you can see me anywhere you are. You can watch while you're at work, not working, guarding the instruments. But I appreciate you swinging by. And again, I was telling everybody else too, we're going to try and do this a lot now. This is what we did in person, so now we're going to do it this way. Again, I used to be at Disney for my artist in residence every September, and again, talking to kids and being part of all that, and that's all gone. So this is kind of a fun way to kind of still be able to connect to all you.
Have you considered making a Learn to Draw book or a DVD or online course or anything in your style?
So the question is, have I thought about doing a course or Learn to Draw books in my style? Yeah, we've definitely thought about that. We've ways to do that. Right now, with the schedule, it was never a way to, never a thing I could do with my commission schedule and work schedule. I think now maybe we'll look at that again. The challenge right now is just I have so many pieces to do that I want to get done. For me, I think the best way to kind of bridge that gap right now is to do this, to answer questions, to be, to help people answer, just to kind of help almost do demos or how-tos kind of with my work. I can do that now. So it's the easiest way for me to kind of get that out and start getting you there, in a hurry. And as a young artist, old artist, just, I can answer those questions immediately now. But we've always thought about it, and maybe in the future that'll be something we do. It's and that's humbling to even ask that. I'm really honored that people even would care. It's one thing to watch somebody do work, but to want to learn it too. That means a lot, and I appreciate that. being a full-time artist, there's lots of weird, art business stuff that we kind of just figure out as we go. So we kind of, I love hearing feedback of what people want to see, just so we know, as we plan stuff. People are like, we don't want you to talk anymore. Then I need to know that.
We don't want you to talk.
Yeah. Other people say don't want to talk anymore.
How did you meet Ian Russell?
Question was, how did I meet Ian Russell? Well, we met. I was doing art show in Scottsdale, and someone who knew Ian had seen the work and said, hey, you got to come down here and see this. So Ian actually drove down from Prescott and came down the following day because it was day 2 of the show, and I was live painting out front, and he came to me and told me about his gallery and said he was interested in bringing the work in. And we've done galleries in the past, and galleries are a whole separate thing, and some galleries are good and some are bad, and there's this is a whole separate world of galleries. So we were kind of like, okay, we've done things before, and thanks, but we went up there and talked to him and kind of showed the work, and it just really seemed he understood what we were doing. It seemed like a really good fit to be in Prescott, and just kind of blossomed from there. And he brought in a few paintings to start with and some prints to see how it went. And I mean, the reception was just so great. We've been there now for 7 years, 8 years, a while.
Yeah,
maybe 6 or 7 years, and just grown so much. And I done my solo show there for years, and just kind of blossomed. It's been a lot of fun. We do so much showing in Arizona. Did so much showing. We're done showing in Arizona, but before that, we did so many shows. It was just great to be able to see everybody in one place. It was really like a homecoming, the solo show, seeing people that we've seen on the road for years. So I will miss that part for sure. So we are retired from the show circuit right now. I think we have only San Diego Comic-Con still on the list for 2021. I don't believe that will be happening. I think they're already talking about pushing that out to 22. So, but we are not doing shows anymore. Wonderground Gallery has officially closed also. And just some of these things have all changed. So we're, right now, you're looking at it. You want to see me paint live, this is how you're going to have to see me paint live. We have all kinds of new stuff coming, new opportunities and things that we'll do as the world adjusts, and we're excited to be there. But this is the best way, because I can paint and talk and kind of capture what those live paintings were. So I'm excited to have a way to do that. I have so much to say. I just it needs to be heard, and I want to dance. Yeah, that was coming. Why does a skeleton need a scarf? Where does the booze go? I have questions.
Derek said your art is inspiring and creative.
Thank you, Brooke. Appreciate that. And again, thanks for hanging out and kind of watching the stream. And had you seen the work before? Or was this the first time you just kind of stumbled through the stream today? I don't think we asked that. I was curious how my international people find this stuff.
Graham found you at the Custom Culture Blast Off.
Oh, yep.
Next May, COVID permitting. Oh, they think they might have it next May.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Good to hear. The Custom Culture Blast Off was a show I did in England twice, actually. I did it like 6 years ago, and then again last year? God, the years are a blur, but very recently. And it's where Graham saw the art, so that's really cool. And it's a really fun show. I love international shows. You can travel and share the work, and again, it was really fun in England to compare car shows. I live in Southern California, so there's a car show in every corner. It's just how it works. So to go to England and see how their car shows are so different. They were really amazing community because each community is so small. The scooter guys, the cafe racer guys, the custom truck, custom vans, they kind of, a car show is everybody. And the show really felt like that, you know, every kind of car. Over here is the mini guys. Then over here is like the custom van guys. You know, have that many interesting little sub-cliques at a show is just amazing. It was really diverse and everyone was just welcoming. It was just a lot of fun. And to see a show like that is just very unique. It's unique to, probably to England's the only place I've seen it. Australia's close because they have the same problem with small shows. But they, England really captured it. I mean, there was custom 18-wheelers there, tractors. And it was really a diverse group for sure.
Like you could pinstripe it over there.
Yeah. Everything was pinstripe. All the guys were there too. You see a fun custom scene. And I love that the UK really embraces the 50s culture. Sock hop dances, you know, full swing dancing, you know, everyone's in really their best attire too. It was really just a fun show. And the fact that they stay there overnight at campgrounds for most of their shows, at big, huge fairgrounds, just makes for a wild time. And I got painting late into the night and stuff. That's a fun way to do shows.
Arte Morbid says wonderful artwork here. Greetings.
Hey, thanks, Arte. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for hanging out, checking out the work. Appreciate you coming by.
Good name. I assume he does good art.
Yes, that's a perfect name. Done. I always feel like I've been name topped. Damn it. I'm going to steal that. We always joke when I first started painting, you know, we said, hey, we should be Dave of the Dead. And I was like, why would I want that? That seems silly. Now I'm like, oh, I'd rather have that so people can pronounce it than my last name, which no one ever can pronounce or look up or spell. See, he already beat us to it. He was already thinking.
Are you going to do more Western paintings?
Question is, am I going to do more Western paintings? Yes. Yes. Once I get done the Halloween, I think I have maybe a big nautical piece in line. But then, it's been a long time since I've done some Western stuff, and I have some really fun ideas. I have both a party idea, you know, kind of a fun party atmosphere Western, and then some more serious Western too. That's the fun part about painting so many different genres is I get to bounce around and kind of, you know, I never get bored because like, okay, now this one's going to be today's flowers and cute, and tomorrow is, you know, some kind of samurai. You know, it's really keeps me engaged, keeps me, you know, always fresh ideas, and I try and make sure that all my little areas get a painting, you know, every year.
So Björk had seen your full videos on your channel, just not live.
Okay, excellent. Well, thank you for checking out the channel and check out the art again, and check out the stream too. I know you guys could be anywhere else. And you should all be schooling apparently, or something else too. I think if everyone's not doing what they're supposed to be doing. We did this timer, like who's watching at 10 a.m.? Who's not doing their work? All of you. You guys see that in there? How's the overhead on that? I want to push it out of frame.
You're gonna have to.
Okay. I don't want to block that with my big stupid hand. I'm gonna, pardon me for a second here, readjust that. There we go. All right, let's get some fresh paint. So with enamel, what happens is it gets a little thick. So you use reducer, and then so I mix up, you know, like 10-to-1. You know, like I'll use that much paint, and that's probably like 2 drops of reducer, and that just helps it flow better. So it flows more like thick water. Is kind of a tough description, but that's kind of, you know, fat-free milk. I don't know how to viscosity, but that's kind of, you know, the length. And throughout the painting, I'll want to go back and add a little bit just to keep it flowing smoothly, because the smoother it is, I can dart around and make thin, thick lines. When it starts to get, you know, chunky or dry, it just makes the painting not as enjoyable. Especially for small things like these little beads, you know, I need to have it be basically fully flowing.
Dan says he has 2 monitors, so he's totally working.
See, smart setup. 2 monitors so you can do your work and your not work. I appreciate you all doing your not work while watching the art.
I feel like they're outing themselves by...
Yeah, if your bosses are watching,
They're not.
No. We'll make this educational then. We'll say this is some kind of is a Zoom meeting for, I don't know. That's how fast on my feet I am. I don't know, boss. Got me. And these are like a little ruby necklace. Yeah. Out of the grave here. Let's share some bird facts while we're at this. So I'm painting a raven. Ravens can remember faces. I think up to like 120, something like that. And they tested that by wearing masks. And basically they would kind of approach murders or groups of ravens called murders too.
Oh, I think so.
And they would approach them and they with a fake dead raven, and the birds would get very upset and would make all these calls. And then when that same person would go by without the fake raven in their hands, they would still make the same calls and start to be alarmed by that person coming by. I mean, they can use tools. They can bring you gifts sometimes. There have been cases where they have brought people gifts, pop cans, things that are shiny. They're pretty amazing. They're very smart.
Here's a fact. A group of ravens is called an unkindness or a conspiracy.
Oh, even better. So, obviously a group of crows is called a murder, and the raven has topped that. Because a group of ravens is called, a conspiracy?
Conspiracy or unkindness.
An unkindness or a conspiracy of ravens. Oh, that's just the best. That's a painting. There's a painting in itself.
Oh my god.
So you guys can all thank me for your David Attenborough facts today. Conspiracy.
How did you come up with the skull character in these paintings? And have they always been mouthless and teethless?
Great question. So the question is how to come up with this character style here with the no teeth. So there's basically yes. The short answer is that I have 3 styles of skulls that I draw. There's the anatomical, which is basically more traditional, skull, bottom jaw, everything. Excuse me. There's an in-between, which is more of a funny with bigger teeth, which is kind of the old style I used to draw. I don't do it as much anymore. If you look at my logo in top left-hand corner, that's kind of the mid-style, kind of more of a cartoony. This style came around, and I love it because it's kind of, I can express is a better word rather than trying to sell emotion. I can express emotions with head tilts and body language. You don't have any eyelashes or wrinkles or mouths to show smiles, so it's a little harder to show, these kind of emotions. But to me, it's so clean and solemn and pure to me. It's a weird way to explain it, but I was just drawn to that simplicity. So they kind of evolved to that funny version that had teeth to more of the. You may find some of mine that may have a line down the nose and a little line under the nose to the mouth, kind of like a little seam. And some of them had that for a while because it's kind of like almost like a fantasy, a little more like maybe is he stitched together? Is it more of kind of that feeling? And they've evolved into this kind of character here. And it's just, if you asked me to draw something right now and, from scratch, it's what I would draw. Usually you probably draw him with a mariachi with a guitar in his hand. It's like the most fun thing for me to draw on a moment's notice. It's just kind of, it feels like me. It kind of expresses, the art, that simplicity, that cute, fun, pure kind of feeling, and it's kind of how it's evolved. But again, great question and great noticing that.
And so when do you use the anatomical?
So I use the anatomical for the serious stuff, and that's a great way to explain them. So basically, if I'm doing a subject and it's gunslingers and it's a serious gunsling kind of battle, then I want to be serious about it. I want to show the full human feel. I want you to see the nooks and crannies, the bones, the mouth, the jaw. I want to express that raw feeling. So that really lends itself to the more anatomical versions. All my more serious stuff you'll see is all full skulls, with all the nooks and crannies drawn. If it's a cute, whimsical, gravediggery love kind of thing, this is fun because that little guy helps make it fun. It kind of just emotes that mischievous feel is a good word for it. And I think if he was serious, it'd be a little more, aggressive. It doesn't really have the feeling that I want. So it's kind of, for whatever the painting is, what kind of type it is. That's the first thing I decide too when I have an idea. I'm like, okay, I have this crazy, a submarine battling an octopus. Okay, if there's a diver outside, well, he should be, if it's this kind of life and death, serious kind of struggle, then it should be serious in skeleton that's being shown also. So that's kind of how they evolve and kind of how I decide which one's going to be which one.
Gentleman Tim Henry says, love your work, brother.
Hey, Henry, thanks for joining the stream. Appreciate it. You also not avoiding work here, hiding out? Is that what's going on here? I feel like I'm a little clubhouse of non-workers. But thank you for hanging out, for sure. I appreciate it. And again, we're going to do more of these now. We're hopefully going to keep this going.
The Tooth 77 says, hello, happy Friday.
What's the name?
The Tooth 77.
The Tooth. All right, Tooth, thanks for hanging out.
Just missed a Tooth conversation.
Oh, yeah, we just had a total teeth conversation. You're like a second behind. So I hope I answered the anatomical verses.
Are you working at the top?
Yes, I'm done now. I had little crow feet. Little raven feet I had to add. See, I mentioned earlier that I will bounce around inappropriately. That's what happens. I see something, then I just jump up there and go fix it.
Like that crow, he seems crabby.
He does seem super crabby. I just love that a raven is called I'm sorry, what was the words again? Unkindness.
Or a conspiracy.
A conspiracy. It's the perfect thing for raven. They're so those things.
And that's what we have here, right?
Yes, we have outside my window. We have a bunch of big tall eucalyptus trees, and they have owls and hawks all the time. But there's also a huge conspiracy of ravens in there. And I know they're ravens because the difference is there's some weight size difference, but the calls. And I, being the bird nerd that I am, I identified the call to make sure that it was a raven versus a crow, because I didn't want to misidentify. It's pretty hard to pretend you're cool when you're like, I had to identify the sound of the crow versus the raven. That's how I spent a lot of time in the studio. Again, thanks everybody for hanging out. I really appreciate it. As we kind of ramp up this new live stream that we're doing here, and I'm really excited for you guys to follow along and ask questions and be part of this. We're going to try and do this a lot. Again, this is what I would be doing anyways. I'm always painting in the studio. I was always live demoing, so I want to kind of capture that stuff.
Curious if they prefer to have any ambient music on in the background.
That's a great question. You guys prefer to have ambient music on in the background, or just the sound of me wheezing? Now that we have the ability to have sound nested in our streams, just curious what you guys thought. It can maybe be distracting. I don't know. And it would not be anything either. It's ambient music because of YouTube streaming rules. So there'll be no Megadeth. painting. For some reason, painting the stone really, I just enjoy the cracks, texture on it. I better do this part first because I'm painted. I want my hand through the bottle. Next to stone, I think reflections on glass is also one of my favorite things to, like headlights on hot rods and car like that. I love drawing painting those metal reflections.
Eric says, I've noticed the difference in the art in the different schools, the more serious ones versus the fun ones. The fun ones remind me of Stig from Top Gear show. A funny expressionless character.
Exactly. Bjork is comparing my mouth to skulls to the Stig from the Top Gear. That's really funny. Exactly. It's kind of that, you don't know what the Stig is doing unless for his head tilts and some of that stuff, and it just simplifies this mouthless identifier. That's funny. It's the first Stig comparison we've ever had. I'll take that. I can move the painting up so everybody can see what's going on here. Let's slide that. How's that?
Ben says it's hard to overlap skeletons.
Yes. Overlap, and then it's funny. Weird occupational hazards. Overlapping skeletons is difficult. Obviously, you're layering white bones. That can be a problem, and something I try and suss out in the painting before I get there, because that is going to be something I have to deal with, and something that you got to figure out. See, that's next level skull thoughts right there. He gets it. Gets my drama. I feel like these ravens are getting more angry as we go. Yeah, ravens, birds. Also, again, I love some of the weird stuff I enjoy painting. Birds are definitely high on the list.
How about just feathers?
Feathers can be not as fun to do. I always kill myself when I do a large feathered piece because it's fun to sketch out. Oh, it's gonna be great. And when I start painting, I'm like, why have I done this again? I did a huge Native American headdress on a piece, and it was just hours of feathers. The shipping department is being very cooperative right now.
Much time. Tooth 77 is looking forward to the October 1 releases.
Hey, thanks Tooth for being excited about the releases. I'm excited to get all these paintings kind of came from that idea, so I'm really excited. One, excited to be painting somewhat these fun Halloween themes. I've never done this before, I've always kind of been at shows, at SEMA, all this stuff, Day of the Dead shows during this time period. So I've never really had this kind of ability to paint during this time period wide open. So I'm excited too. It's a fun batch of pieces and character ideas. To kind of do Halloween type stuff I never got to do before. So it's been a really fun thing. And I really think we'll end up doing this again next year. It's been just a chance. I think something I'm looking forward to. And when it comes to one of the fun things to talk about too is I'm sharing the process and then how this all works, but there's certain things that I have a sketch that gives me basically a blueprint of where I'm painting. There's certain things that I just kind of make up as I go. Like if you see here the highlights in the bottle, this weird stuff in the grass here, and it's not in my sketch. This weird texture in the glove or in the neck wrap. Scarf. Those aren't thought ahead of time. They're kind of in my Batman utility belts of textures and things I've done before. So I just kind of have those in my head and know that I want to use them to kind of sell some of that feeling, to break up objects, to really give it detail. So my sketch kind of has just a plain line art, and it basically goes from there. Again, blueprint's the best word. It's kind of a map to, here you go, this is where the bedroom's going to be. I'll decorate the bedroom when I get there.
Oh, Bjork says thanks for hooking me up with the Amigos book a while back. Remember we
Oh, yes. Awesome. Now it's complete. Bjork got the Amigos book. It's a book I did with two other artists, Gerald Tidwell and...
Oh no,
Angry Blue.
Somebody else.
Yep, Angry Blue, and there's another artist. It was 4 artists. Jose, this was a long time ago. But anyway, so great artists, and so we did a black and white book together. So it was really good. He snagged one, get to sign it and hook him up with it. So it was really a fun book to do too, and a project I'd love to dive back into. Those artist collaborations are always funny because it's just a bunch of weirdos, kind of talking art and making fun stuff.
Ben says I would go to the shows, but my family doesn't like you as much as I do.
Ben, your job is to make your family like me. I will not be liked.
I get it.
I get it, though. Thank you, Ben. I appreciate you battling disapproval of your parents. But see here, Ben, they can't stop us here.
Yeah, he says he has 3 monitors going. 3 pages of them.
Well, thank you, Ben. See, and your parents are going to come in, you're not working, and they're going to not like me more. They're going to blame me. So I'm going to just quickly look at my sketch to see how can I even do that before? All right. Oh, I crumpled up my sketch. Had to see how I laid the words out. How did I go with that? There. So it's going to be the on. Yeah, the dogs are getting restless because it's their lunchtime. I'm being assaulted on the leg. Mm-hmm.
So 277 had a half day at work. That's why this is happening.
All right, Tooth. We'll let you hang out then. Gotta make sure I'm not encouraging anything bad. What you guys can't see in frame is that the brown dog here is now demanding to be up in here. Hi. I know. I see you. I know. This is how it usually works. Until a break is taken, right? This is how it goes. Now you guys can even see that he's... And the other one is right there. We often paint like this. I know. Hi. So, is that better? Went down now? Like, ugh, this is boring. Art critics, man. So we probably got about 10 minutes left here. So I'm gonna work on this. So you guys can all get back to your schooling that you're blowing off.
Let's make sure you get some hair in there.
Oh yeah, don't worry, Ben. The dog hair is a constant problem, and like I said, you could clone all my dogs throughout history from my pieces. That's how I'll be known. It's not original unless you can find dog hair in it. I'll tell you right now. That's how people can tell.
Dan is asking what the little one's name is.
So little one's Dan's asking what the name of the little Frenchie is. So his official name is Quint McCready. Quint is from Jaws, obviously, because that's the best character ever created. Because that's what it is. And McCready is lesser known to maybe some people, not in this house. The character from The Thing. But that's all thrown in the trash because we have great names, you have great ideas, and it's really great fun. It doesn't matter because he's just called Bunny because he just runs around like a bunny, and that's all he is, and that's all we call him. We actually had his name changed at the vet just to Bunny. So they say, "Hey, what's your dog's name?" We're like Bunny, and they go, "What do you mean?" Every time it's the same thing.
He eats carrots all the time.
Yeah, he eats carrots. I mean, he's just a bunny. So it's just I'm not gonna new age parenting, man. I'm not gonna tell him what to be. He can just be what he wants. And he's telling me he wants to be a bunny. Identifies as a bunny, he's a bunny. But he is fit right in, complete distraction to the rest of the team. So here we're just doing the last bits of detail. So you got any more questions, get them in. We're probably going to do another live, we're definitely doing a live stream next week. I'm not sure which day, so we'll post up on social media. And we'll also post up on the YouTube comments too. But again, if you guys like these, oh, see now I'm going to sound like a YouTuber. I'm not going to say like and subscribe, but do that. And if you don't like it, hit the don't like button twice. But again, thank you. You know, we're going to keep doing these. I'm really excited about this. This is kind of, you know, this is sustainable. You know, I can do this. We're working on all the bugs. It's easy. It's fun to share the work. I have paintings I have to get done. I mean, I'm a full-time artist, so there's always painting to be done. So I want to be able to kind of share that and answer questions. And now that we're off the road, I want to find a way to kind of, you know, bridge that gap with, you know, people who follow the art. So I do thank you guys for hanging out here. Like I said, I think you could be doing actual work and stuff that you should be doing.
Ben says, my question is, give me the painting.
Good question, Ben. Ben's question is just give me the painting. Ben, October 1st. You think your family hates me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, they do. $277 says I appreciate all your work.
Thank you, 277, for checking out the art and hanging out. Appreciate everybody stopping in and seeing this thing. Again, all these live streams are here for questions. You know, if you're watching any of these and you have questions about past art, future art, art in general, feel free to fire them in. We're going to keep being here and keep sharing like this. We're going to be here drawing worms and
Is the worm smiling?
yeah. Why wouldn't the worm be smiling? Worm hater?
Is it possible to push the piece up a little?
Yes, it is. Boom.
Straighten it out a little?
Straighten it out. How's that?
Sideways.
I can't see.
Perfect.
I can't see your feet. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, we don't have all the answers, guys. That's all we figured out. Is that good?
Yeah, good enough.
Good enough. That's me. And I have a dog crawling at the door. I think he knows that we're almost finished here. So,
Yeah. I'm just trying to use it back on.
all right, music's back on.
Drain them out.
This is kind of the end of the feed. Getting close to the end here, guys. So get your last bit of questions in.
277 says favorite piece is the Tree of Life, and he has the small guitar and another one print.
Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Tree of Life is also one of my favorite pieces. Just to be able to capture that, part of the Fender project to make that stuff. That was really a great piece. I enjoy seeing it out there and around. So thank you for snatching that up. And I love the mini guitars too. Just a fun, great compliment to the project. So with these 10 o'clock live streams, the challenge is that the dogs like to swim at 11:30. It's like a built-in alarm clock because the dogs just do that. But in the comments, if this is a good time, you guys like this kind of time, whatever you think, let me know. Because apparently the dogs aren't going to be good anytime, so it doesn't really matter. So just a little bit more touch-ups here, and probably at the last minute or so.
So you definitely have another good question from Ben, and the question is, seriously, give me it right now.
Ben with the question of the night.
Oh, that's good.
So this is really the nooks and crannies section. Just adding in little bits of detail, just to break up some of those lines. The suggestion of it being carved in. And a lot of these textures are just kind of suggesting things, suggesting where feathers are, suggesting where the fuzziness of the cloth, the roundness of the pearls.
Competition for question of the night. Do aliens exist?
Competition for question of the night. Oh, so now we have the questions of the night. Do aliens exist? No. I don't believe so. Because if they did... well, here's the thing. If they did, they would never bother with us. Why would they? Would you come to this place? So, I don't know. I think if any civilization had the ability to travel and those kind of things, that why would they go to the zoo? Didn't realize the philosophical questions we're going to be having. I got to be more prepared. We're going to add some shadows to these pearls, and then, I say pearls, but they're gold. And then we'll be finished off for the day. So keep an eye on the social media stream, and we'll post up the next time we're going to do this. Thank you guys all for hanging out. Thank you for the dogs for being patient. Thank you for the good questions. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, everybody. Tooth, everybody, guys. All the internationals that came to follow. Graham and such. So thank you, guys. So I think that's going to do it for now. So I'll give you a little full frame here. And I'll put a picture of him in the frame. I can show you the frame too right here. This is how he looks in his little frame here. So that's kind of an idea how it's going to be. So thank you guys again. And any questions, put them in the comments below. And look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. You guys have a great rest of your day and keep pretending not to work.
Can you scroll the painting up?
And I will scroll the painting up.
And back.
And back down. It's like a live pan.